that should be on my computer.
Nor are the
The thing that
live.
you made.
Live. Yeah,
Oh,
the thing I
hi.
made dog. And the what else? The magic sentences are not there. Um yeah. So there's a couple.
Huh.
Yeah, it's weird. Really weird. Oh, and making the
Huh.
magic wand. Because don't we start by making a magic wand?
Yeah, hold on. I'll upload them. Hi, everyone. Hold on.
Hey everybody, welcome to WUFO's live stream, October 18th. It's wonderful to virtually see you all. Yeah, how's it been going? How has your 2 weeks been, Kai?
Yeah, it's been busy but good. Then got to do some frolicking in a pumpkin patch. Been leading some ghost tours.
Nice.
Just got my official box of supplies, so now I have an official Portland Ghost Tour business card.
Nice.
I'm legit.
You are legit. That's awesome. I've kind of work has been really stressful because I do content moderation, so I've had to deal with a lot of people talking about current events, and I'll just leave it at that. That's probably enough. Yeah, the Courtney, I get that, like 100%. It's just like coming at you from all sides, and but that's why we do stuff like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do stuff like this. That, and I finally started going to a gym, which is really weird for me.
How's that going?
That's fine. Just kind of getting into the habit of it.
Are you listening to podcasts while you're doing that, or?
I'm trying to when I can. I'm actually working with like a personal trainer right now, just because it's like part of the package. But like, yeah, when I do like the bike and stuff, I try to listen to podcasts. But right now I'm listening to a podcast, a non-paranormal podcast, at least so far, about like when your kid goes through puberty.
Right.
Is it informative?
It's very good. It's very informative. It's by Nick Kroll's sister.
Oh, okay.
And I guess she wrote a book on it. And they're very knowledgeable about it. And the co-host is like a child development expert, and a consultant on that show Big Mouth that Nick Kroll does.
Oh, funny.
So yeah. So anyhow, the podcast is really good. If any of you also have kids going through it. Anyhow, that's neither here nor there, but that's kind of what I've been listening to at the gym, which is a really weird thing to listen to at a gym.
Sorry, that is the sound of me being summoned to feed my cat. I'm gonna do that, and I'll be right back.
Wait, did your cat do that?
Yes, that is how he tells me that his food dish is empty, and it is time to fix that problem by picking up the dish in his mouth and dropping it on the floor.
Oh, wow. I thought he had like a bell or something. He was like,
I was picturing like a Rube Goldberg machine. The cat starts by pushing like a fake mouse, and then the next thing you know, like the bell rings or something like that.
Right.
So I see some people talking about snacks already. So we got a snack report from Sarah on potatoes, mushrooms, and garlic. So that sounds nice. But in what form are the potatoes, mushrooms, and garlic, I guess is what I'm wondering. You have a snack, Kai?
Yes. I have been trying out the Target brand Halloween candy before I put it out for trick-or-treaters to make sure that, I'm not one of those cheap neighbors, but I actually like it better than the big candy bar brands. I think the chocolate tastes a lot nicer.
Cool.
So I give a thumbs up to. I got one bag that has milk chocolate bars with popping candy, and then another one that's like their version of like Three Musketeers, a Snickers, a Twix, and Milky Way. And
wow. Plus you're sticking it to big candy.
that's right. Boo big candy, boo Nestle and your crummy, terrible.
Oh yeah, Nestle's the
hoarding.
worst. But the
we should
real
get 13 Liminal Nights sponsored by little craft candy shops and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, this is Target though, right? It's just like the generic Target brand.
Yes,
they can
but
sponsor it. Diced potato sauté with mushrooms and garlic with basil, jalapeno powder, and ginger. That sounds amazing, actually. Wow. Sign me up. And then Nilo's got, I never know if it's Nilo or Nello or I don't know. I'm just going to say Nilo because I like how it sounds. But ice cream, half-baked Ben & Jerry's. And Courtney has Chips, Dip, and Reese's. We also have a Crunchwrap Supreme Sans Meat. What is that? Wild burgundy snails. Are you snacking on them?
Well, I have them. I have that, or I have crispy squids.
Oh, crispy squids would probably taste fine.
I know. I'm gonna probably do that. I got these for my son for Christmas because he was making like TikToks for a while where he was trying like silly sodas. So but he hasn't tried this yet. I'm just gonna open it and eat it.
Do it.
We'll see. It's a festive time of the year, so
I'm not gonna do it right now. But it reminded me that somewhere I have a can of Korean silkworm pupae, which are like it's like a street food in Korea. I should open that up some night and try it just to see. What's your verdict?
Well, it expired in July. It smells like a pet food, like a pet store. Mm-hmm. Like that kind of like sharp smell. I don't know what that is. Like compressed food or something for like the fish food or something.
Like fish flakes.
But like really dense.
Concentrated oceanic fishiness.
Yeah, they look good. They look like little crumbles.
My son's into shrimp crackers, and he really likes them. I wonder if they taste similar to that. What's the verdict?
Pretty good. Yeah. It's a little. I think it's a little stale.
Yeah,
something
makes sense.
I had a good crunch on it though.
That's impressive for being quite a number of months out of date.
Yeah.
Squid don't expire.
You're right.
Squid are forever.
I've been having, there's this whole, I mentioned it. I think I talked about it last time about this like pickle group that I'm in now.
Oh yeah.
Where they post like the most interesting like pickle things that they find and stuff. And I got these, I can't bring it because it's so big. I can't really show it off, but it's this massive jar of best made pickles, which are from Texas. And they are like the most sour pickle I've ever had. Which for me, if you know me, is saying a lot. Because I go for sour stuff. It's like I found myself, it's so like just I think physiologically halfway through the pickle, I was like, my eyes were tearing.
I want to see that you do this. I want to see. Can you go get one?
I'll go get one, but not right now.
Okay, I want to see how it affects you.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah,
but there's this whole thing now too, though. A lot of people are using this. It's a sauce called chamoy sauce
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
Which, it's kind of like the liquid form of like tahini. Like it's kind of salty but sour and sweet, and people are like putting it in their pickle jars. And you can get, and like, or they're selling, you can get a kit. Like you can go on like pickle sites and you get a kit, and they send you a giant pickle and like fruit roll-ups and crunched up candies and other sour ingredients and like tamarind paste and stuff like that, so that you can just like wrap up your pickle in fruit roll-ups and go to town. But the biggest thing right now, which actually I think I might try, maybe I'll try this, and we'll have it, I'll bring it for the next WUFO, is getting Kool-Aid packets, non-sweetened. It's important that they have to be unsweetened, and just like dumping them in your pickle brine and letting it sit for like a week.
I don't know if I am into the combining like fruit flavors with my pickles. Like I think I'm a pickle purist, maybe.
That's fair.
Not in what vegetable becomes pickled, but in the pickle flavors. I don't even like bread and butter pickles.
Yeah.
And I'm like iffy about gherkins.
I don't usually go for the sweet and sour combos. Like I don't like kettle corn or anything weird like that.
Oh, but I like kettle corn.
You do like kettle corn?
Yeah.
That like my sweet versus sour synapses can't handle it. Popcorn needs to be savory.
Remember, Jeremy doesn't do the pineapple on pizza either.
Oh gosh, no, never. Well, no, I'll do it, but I mean, this is
begrudgingly
very much a semiotics issue. Is that when you put fruit on pizza, it's not a pizza; it's just a bread with cheese and fruit, like a flat bread with cheese and fruit, and Canadian bacon sometimes. So that's all there is to it. Do you want me to go get one of these giant pickles?
I do. I'm waiting patiently.
All right, I will be right back. That means that y'all have to start talking about something else while I'm gone. So,
yeah. Is there any paranormal news in the last 2 weeks that we should catch up on?
The Sasquatch video.
Yeah, called the Colorado. Yeah.
Did everybody hear Tenny's update on that?
No, I didn't. I missed that.
So if you haven't listened to the more recent What's Up Weirdo podcast, then breaking news. So Tenny looked up the railroad line that the Sasquatch was filmed from, and it's right like alongside a Sasquatch themed tourism company who basically admitted to being the person in the suit on social media without actually saying that it was them.
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
I mean, I knew it was a person in a suit. Like, just looking at it, it was very obvious that it was a person walking with like pants.
Yeah, I like though, like kind of like disappearing into the rest of the foliage or whatever, like kind of that vibe of that, just becoming one of the other plants there. I don't know.
That was nice. Yes. Yeah. Moonbird. I was once forced to eat peanut butter with Kool-Aid powder in a bologna sandwich for shamanic initiation. What group is making people Kool-Aid peanut butter? I could kind of see like you're basically adding a jelly flavor to the peanut butter without the goo of jelly. I could kind of get behind that more so than in a pickle, to be honest. But
why is there bologna in there too, though? Bologna and peanut butter and jelly?
What kind of initiation is not vegetarian and or vegan friendly? I'm just saying.
Yeah. So it sounds like the Bigfoot thing is sadly some kind of marketing thing.
Yeah.
Was there anything else? Oh, the eclipse. There's an eclipse on Saturday. Did you happen to check that out? I was sleeping. I slept through it, but I don't know if anyone else.
It was really too like cloudy and overcast to see in Oregon, really.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about going to try to check it out, and I think I ended up sleeping through the exciting moments as well, and then felt vindicated by my friends who are photographers who I follow online, who are like, I caught a couple seconds of the very end when it was doing a thing.
I think that there is going to be one next year, though. No, the eclipse that goes across the United States, like a full-on one. And I kind of want to go somewhere. I think it's going through like Middle America, like the Southwest, and then I kind of want to go somewhere.
I highly recommend it. I went whenever it happened in Oregon. Was that 2018 maybe?
Or 20.
Yes.
Somewhere in there. And I went down to like the deserty country of Oregon where the total eclipse was happening, and it was such a surreal, sublime experience. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That was actually Nicholas's first day of school, first day of kindergarten.
Oh, really?
They had them all go out there and like look at the little glasses. I mean, it was only a partial here, but it was still pretty awesome.
I remember I made some box that had a like tiny slit in it,
and
then Amber, my wife, was teaching at like a preschool, so the kids could like go in there or something. I don't remember. I remember I came and I had covered it all in the silver paper or something that was like reflective, and I walked this giant refrigerator box down, and they were like, "What is this? What is going on?" But it was really cool because you could see the shadows and everything.
So it's going through southern Illinois, central Indiana. That's actually a lot of people who we know are kind of in that area.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, maybe we should be like planning now to like have a meetup out there or something.
Oh, that would be rad. An eclipse meetup. That would be
camping eclipse party.
Yeah, because it's probably going to be hard to like if we wait too long, because people are going to be wanting to go there.
That's true.
It'd be fun. Right. Anyway, let's do pickles. Okay,
I got it. So if you're just joining us, I got these pickles, and they're the most sour pickle I've ever had. Actually, one of the most sour things I've ever had, I would have to say. They're really good. Best made pickles from Texas. And I was telling everyone that the first time I had one, and actually each subsequent time, my eyes start watering. Like, that's how sour they are. So Garrett said he wanted to see me eat a pickle. So here we go. So let's see if you can hear it.
It's got a good crunch on it.
Now there's pickle juice on my computer.
Uh-oh. Are you crying yet?
It's not the first time it's happened. Not yet, no.
Speaking of crying, this was not a planned segue, but if y'all have not heard about the new queer ghost hunting show on Hulu that features one of my favorite podcast hosts, Roz Hernandez, host of Ghosted. It's like produced by the same team that does the Queer Eye series, and it really is like I was literally crying during 2 of the first 3 episodes. Wow. Because for like very heartwarming, touching, lovely, like human connection reasons. So even though Karamo is not on Living for the Dead, he's there in spirit. He's haunting the show.
Wow,
that sounds good. Yeah, I definitely want to check it out.
Is it on Hulu?
Mhm.
And it's called? What is it called? Queer Ghost Hunter.
Living for the Dead. It's
Huh.
produced by Kristen Stewart, and she
Oh,
does
I've heard. I remember everyone was talking about.
little like voiceover intro and outro things that are cute.
Cool. This is exciting. Great.
Man, this is intense. I really wish that I could send these to you, like right now,
Yeah.
so you could try them too. It's like
Whatever happened?
I've never seen you like this overwhelmed by something. It's pretty awesome.
Wasn't there a world coming where we could just like have a little drone deliver packages on our behest? Like,
yeah,
Mhm.
what if we could just send each other pickle packages?
totally.
In other news, I keep scouting vacant buildings that could potentially be the Portland Liminal Earth headquarters.
Oh,
Awesome.
I love that feeling for sure.
Mhm.
I do a lot of that scheming and planning and wishing.
The dancing bear.
Getting a little eye
Across-
moisture.
Oh yes, you're crying. The dancing bear across from the Paul Bunyan statue, which has a very clever punny sign of like a dancing bear, the animal, and then it's crossed out, and it's BARE. It used to be a strip club. It's shut down. I feel like that trickster vibe, and right across from the giant Paul Bunyan statue,
Yeah.
would be such a great location. There's also a place called the Star and Moon that's painted this like really amazing seafoam green that's like a block from my house.
Wow.
So that's what I'm doing with my spare time while I'm cruising around.
I love it. Man, I want a space so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know what I would do in it. I just want the idea of it for sure.
Yeah.
And
Art.
yeah.
I think it could be really fun to have like a maker space where there were materials where people could create their own investigation like tools, whatever that might be. Maybe it's like a deck of cards that they use to investigate in. Maybe it's like I used to build ghost detectors out of Connect sets. Like, I mean, I could just see like bins of random rescued and recycled stuff that people could come make stuff in.
Absolutely.
That's interesting. Like, yeah, it's like really a maker space or like a art space, but it's themed a certain way. Like kind of like those. What are those writing places? Like what is that called? I can't remember. It's like a project where they taught kids like writing, but it was like it had like these themed storefronts where it was like it was like astronaut supply store.
How fun!
Yeah.
That was the one in Seattle, but they had a couple different ones, and so they had like real like astronaut supply stuff or whatever. But in the back is really where they did what they did. It was like they taught kids how to write. So they had this like kind of like faux business. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Perpetual reservation of public library study rooms is another option. According to
I wonder who suggested that.
It's a great idea, though.
Yeah.
I spent the whole high school weekends and summers. My stepmom she's retired now, but was a librarian, a children's librarian, and it's actually how she met my dad, because he took us into the library, and one thing led to another. But I played like all kinds of Dungeons and Dragons, and she would just like book the room for us for like days, and we would go in and just could like use this big, awesome, giant, empty conference room and spread out all our shit everywhere and play D&D all day. was very cool. I'm done.
You made
witnessed
it.
It's right
Yeah.
here. These are called pickle tears, and
Can you bottle them and use them for anything?
maybe I should, or maybe I'll. This is the other things people are doing on this site, and then I'll shut up about pickles. But taking pickles and dehydrating them and grinding them into a powder, so you can add them to drinks and things.
Oh, I'm so into that. Like basically what makes like the jalapeno and like pickle chips so yummy.
Yes.
But without having to have the potato chip. Like sometimes I want a potato chip, but sometimes I want popcorn or other shenanigans.
Yeah.
Savory oatmeal with dehydrated pickles.
Yeah. That sign me up.
Can you do like what's that? Lickamade or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, like pickle powder. That'd be great.
Yeah, but what would you make the sugar stick out of?
Yeah, I wonder what could you
pretzel sticks, maybe?
Pretzel sticks, that would be good. Or just like a chunk of solidified citric acid.
An unflavored, like a not sweet biscotti.
Oh yeah. All right. We're gonna do this. I was asked if my nose was running too, and like it's a little bit. So, and yeah, and they are like I think it's like pickles in general are much more wholesome than meat sweets, but like the sodium content in the one I just ate, for example, is probably like more than I need now for the rest of the week.
What have we said about checking the sodium content?
Never check the sodium content. I know the sunflower seeds too. This is different. Those
were the pickle
Oh, right, the pickle bombs.
Yeah,
those were really salty. But sunflower, like David's sunflower seeds, that brand, I used to eat them all the time. And then I looked at the sodium one day and I can't. That's just like, you might as well just grab a handful of rock salt.
You want to know the thing that got ruined for me? I used to love all the Flamin' Hot, all the things, but the color that they put to make all of that stuff violent red, which I personally don't need, is a petroleum byproduct.
What?
So you're eating and ground up dinosaurs with your Flamin' Hot everything, and I just didn't sign up for that.
That's a fast ticket to being haunted by a dinosaur.
By a Flamin' Hot dinosaur. Is that a dragon?
It could be. Oh, I forgot. I have a new friend. Hang on. You just reminded me of something. I can get him to work. There's my little friend. Oop.
Yes.
This is my spirit Halloween find of the year.
Wow.
Well done.
He just sits there.
Wow.
Huh?
Does it like move? Are you able to like?
Oh, I know that's me.
Oh,
no,
you're just holding it. Okay.
It's just. It's just. Yeah.
I thought it was like a puppet or something.
No, it's just like a pet dragon. I am not. I don't have a name yet for this dragon. Maybe we could divine one tonight.
Ooh. Yeah, you should use your your ink, your mushroom ink crystal ball.
Yeah,
you have it.
Oh, before we get started on the 13 Liminal Nights thing, we lost Kai. I have been reading a book on divination, and it's about ancient Greek divination, which surprise, surprise. And it has a factoid that blew me away, and I've got to share it. So, like, most of the divination back then was just done by like casting lots, and they had those funky little dice, like dodecahedron kinds and like Dungeons and Dragons dice, but they were used with the alphabet.
I saw one of those when I was in Greece. It was like a big one though, and they said it was used for. It was at the museum in Athens. They said it was used for magical purposes, and I was like, I want one. It was like a giant one that you would roll, and it had all the letters of the alphabet on it.
Yeah. I haven't gotten to the actual process that's in this book yet, but he starts by. I'll show the book. It's called The Oracles of Apollo, and it's by John Opsosopos, PhD. And like I actually knew about who he was because he's had a website for a really, really long time, dealing with like super like esoteric Pythagorean musical theory and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really cool. I'll have to share it. I'll see if I can find it and I'll share it. But oh, look at this.
This is my friend who is a puppet.
Oh
What?
my gosh. What is it? It's so cute.
It's a bat.
Oh, it's a bat.
And it has like a dowel rod in it that lets you. I'm not very good with it because I haven't played with it very much, but it usually just sits
That's
on my
incredible.
computer screen. But when you got out your dragon, I was like, my bat's gonna be sorry that I did not get them out for show and tell.
Wow, that's really cool. Where did you get it?
I had one like this, a little bit different, but similar, from a Renaissance festival in Maryland. And then I got all nostalgic during the pandemic and I found a maker on Etsy that was making similar ones. And I was like, oh, good. I can adopt a new friend.
That's awesome.
But yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna drop this link here. Lots of great stuff. It's definitely like it's got it's got a what do I want to call it? A kind of a neo-pagan slant to it. So some of the stuff is like, but this person definitely knows what he's talking about. So to get back to, oh, it's not letting me. Oh, there we go. Okay. So to get back to what this really cool factoid was. So they, to cast lots, they would cast the lots, and then based on what their results were, they would then consult a list of oracular statements. So sometimes it would be like from Homer, like the Odyssey. It would just be like what seemed like random statements, and then the person doing the casting would consult with the other person and come up with what could this possibly mean. And so they still have some of these extant. They lost a lot of them, but like there was the Sibylline oracles or the Chaldean oracles. They were all kind of used in that way, so you couldn't read them straight as a book. But one of the things they found is like these oracles, the sentences and stuff written on parchment that would be used as an amulet, because it was really common back in that era to actually just like write something on a piece of parchment or paper or whatever and carry it with you, and that's your amulet. And they have these oracle things found there. And so what they're kind of thinking right now, they also find them a lot on like clay, on like broken clay tablets. But what now the thing they're thinking of is if you went to go have your oracle cast at Delphi or something like that, and they did this method, they would come up with this oracle and you would talk about it with the priest or whatever, and then they would make that oracle as into an amulet for you to carry, because you're supposed to come up with the most beneficial interpretation of the oracle in question. So if it said, the sky, the wine dark ocean is out ahead of you and there is a mountain in the distance, then you could talk with this oracle and say like, I have a trip coming up, this mountain, I want it to be something huge and enormous and important to me that I accomplish. And then with that intention in mind, they would create the amulet, and you would kind of keep that intention going, so the divination actually becomes the spell.
Interesting.
And it totally blew my mind hearing that. Like, that's so cool. Like, I've never thought of divination that way before. But that was like kind of how they thought about it. So
you take the divination, you merge it with what you kind of want to manifest or whatever, and then you kind of merge it into a physical thing that you carry with you to like see it through.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then you keep that intention the whole time as well. So you're trying to manifest this what the oracle has said to you.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's super cool, and it explains a lot of things, like why like ancient Greek rulers would be so like against the oracles predicting their future, and because somebody could take that and then use it against them.
Like take the amulet away from it, or take the oracle away from it.
Take the oracle, like the intent behind the oracle, like you could change, like a bad actor could change it.
Oh,
yeah. So
wow.
I just thought that's really neat. Like, and it also explains why, because there were only like I think in this book he does an oracle and there's like 114 sentences.
Right.
And obviously it's like what people always, it's the same thing with astrology. You're like, well, how can your horoscope be this the same for every single person born in September or something like that? But this is like the oracular answer to that, is that the interpretation needs to be the best thing that you can think of.
Mm-hmm.
Would once that, so in the example you gave of like the person who has a trip coming up, so like once I had gone on that trip, would I then like destroy that amulet in some way to like release the energy that had been put into it? Or like,
I don't know, I haven't gotten that far, I guess, in the book, but I mean, it was common practice though to say, like, if this is the, if I'm at the temple of Apollo and the priests of Apollo are reading this oracle for me, I would say, like, okay, if this happens, then I'm going to come back and donate 2 bushels of oil and a lamb or something. I don't know. So there is a little bit of tit for tat that you would have to have. So that's my like just ad hoc non sequitur.
Cool.
Yeah,
it makes me think about how we could use that. Or
yes.
Yeah,
Totally.
I like it.
See Dakota's. Hi, Dakota.
What is
oh, go ahead.
What's this ghost town terror? Is this a thing? I don't know about this.
Yeah, I don't know. Prep the parchment.
Ghost Town Terror, I think, is a show on HBO Max / Discovery Plus.
Oh, I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah,
I have to look it up. Oh, look at this is interesting. That's kind of a weird coincidence with the mountain and everything.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's cool. Super cool.
So should we talk about 13 Liminal Nights?
Yeah. Oh, I was just one quick thing. I saw this little news thing that I thought was interesting, is that they just found this tomb in Italy that they opened that had frescoes of Cerberus. I was telling you about this. I don't know if people saw that, but like they just opened it and there's these paintings of Cerberus on the wall, and it has been sealed for a really long time, and it's like Hercules, like kind of like, I think it's one of the like 12, what's it called, 12 labors or whatever, the things he had to do, and one of them was like capture Cerberus. And I saw that, I thought that was weird. So just know Cerberus has like been let loose from this tomb. But then I started seeing like stuff about Cerberus everywhere. It's like one of those things. Or saw this Instagram video of a dog, like a pug with 2 like stuffed animal dog heads on its shoulders. And then I went to Spirit Halloween and there was like a Beware of Cerberus sign, just like the same day, like all day. I was like, what the heck?
Huh.
So I just wanted to put a warning out. Cerberus is on the loose. Just that's my little public service announcement. Yeah, but I was thinking, actually, the other thing that I thought, I had never thought about Cerberus, and so I looked up the symbology, and some people talk about how the heads have to do with past, present, and future, those 3 heads. And also he's like a guardian of like the after going into the afterlife. So he's kind of like a liminal, like right on the cusp. And so I don't know. I just thought it was a cool thing. I hadn't actually ever thought about what he represents. Yeah. Oh, there's one other thing I thought that was cool. I can't remember. Anyways, yeah, Cerberus PSA. But
is that the possible connection to Hecate?
Oh yeah, there's that. There's yeah, just I think the intercessor thing, because she would also lead people down into the underworld as well, right?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, and she had 3 heads in a lot of the statues of her.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh,
and was also a patroness of dogs.
Yeah. Oh, I think there's the other thing is I don't know what this concept is, but Bex would talk about it. There's this kind of idea of a dog in cemeteries, like a kind of spirit dog, this black dog thing, and it's kind of like the guardian of the cemeteries. And I can't remember what the concept is, but it's almost like a trope or something. And so I was wondering if that had any connection to Cerberus, so this kind of guard dog of the cemetery.
Yeah.
Anyways, just putting that out there. So, like, if anyone notices any Cerberus stuff, let me know. Yeah. So we wanted to talk about 13 Liminal Nights because that's coming up next week. And did we even do it last year? Did we do it every other year? I feel like we do it every other year. I don't know. It's like
last year we told people like we're not doing it like officially, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it.
Right.
Gary, your mic and your camera are out of sync right now. Just
okay.
Dakota is apparently, this is like
That's super sync.
The interestingly bizarre coincidence or synchronicity night.
Dakota's in Facebook, so people may not be seeing what they're saying.
Oh, that's right.
So
if I put it up, though.
Whoa.
That is wild.
Did you see that Dakota also had a Hecate synchronicity?
Mm-hmm. Here, I'll put that up too.
And the eclipse was we were talking about.
So yeah. Dakota is actually a friend of mine who has done foraging with me.
Oh wow!
So that's pretty awesome. We'll have to talk more about this in person at some point.
That's amazing.
People, so.
Oh, I forgot to tell y'all. I posted randomly on Craigslist to see if anybody would tell me any paranormal stories. And I got one last week from somebody who was getting ready for an event that happened last week here in Portland called the Retro Gaming Expo, which is a super fun event. But they were getting ready. I'm not sure what exactly they were getting ready for that event. And the switch on their toaster started moving all by itself.
Ooh.
That's freaky.
Yeah. That is really freaky. Wow.
Ghost toaster.
Ghost toast.
The toaster.
That's cool. Did they submit it to the map?
I'm going to submit it to the map on their behalf. I said I was going to do on the Craigslist post.
Yeah. Yeah, we're due for an update, but we need more entries. So if everybody here can send something, we've been a little dry lately.
Cool. All right, so 13 Liminal Nights. Jeremy, do you want to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, so this is something we've been doing. When did we actually start it? I can't remember exactly, but it's been a few years now. And the original thought was like, well, Christmas gets 12 days, but we like Halloween more than we like Christmas. why can't we make Halloween into, an extra long celebration? And of course, like, what better number to choose for the number of nights of Halloween than 13? So we came up with this, it started off kind of in very many, as very many of our projects do, as kind of like a half serious thing. Like, hey, let's make up a holiday and see if people want to hang out and stuff. But we realized the more that we actually looked at it, that actually is kind of like an initiatory path. Like each night, you follow a path that leads in some way to some kind of like self-development, or just like you have a good time doing it. Like that's enough of an initiation for me. So we put together these things to do on each night, and each one of them is based on one of the Quatrian symbols from Quatrian mythology, which, if you're new here, is an extremely bizarre and complicated paradigm that we sometimes play with when we're doing things. Anthor and the Oracle of the Hypogeum, the whole idea of the Hypogeum that you might have come across in our work, that's all sort of Quatrian. So on each one of those, we kind of assigned, each one of those nights, we kind of assigned one of the symbols, one of the cards, and then you go out and you do the thing. And by the end of the thing, hopefully, you will have at least had some fun. And the cave.
These are some of the symbols that we're using.
Yeah, I remember doing a few of them last year, but not all of them. I remember going to visit a cave on All Explorers Day, and I remember making a musical instrument, which was super fun. But I'm excited to like properly do it this year.
Right. I think it's okay that if you don't do all of them. I think which ones resonate with you, to me, as we were looking at, it's one of the things, like Jeremy said, we like put it out there and then we're like kind of joking. But then as we looked at it, we're like, oh, well, you could think of it this way. And one of the things that made me think of is like, it's like different ways of tackling one problem. So if you had like, say, a question you're trying to ask, and then these are like different methods. Like some of them are about being contemplative, some of them about being like producing something, and like working with your hands to see if you arrive at an answer. It's just almost like you might have different results, and some things just might not work for you. You're not feeling that. So like different ways to meditate on the question you're asking.
Yeah.
Anyways, I just thought it was just, that's how I look at it. So, and some of them are just fun to do anyways. You can do them at any time. Like I got really into the bibliomancy part of the stone book readings, where you're like using books to, rolling dice and finding weird answers in books. So you could do that anytime.
Yeah. And I think that we had talked about that too, as though this is something that doesn't have to just be done this time of year.
Right.
The whole cycle. Like you could just be like, I have a really hard problem. I need to think about it. I need to really like dig into it and possible ways to address it. And like just sit down and do some of these things. We put out a zine for it, right?
Yeah. I don't know if I have a copy. I'm gonna have to print more, but
yeah, we might need to print more and put them up. I don't even think they're up.
Yeah.
So if you are interested in seeing the list, we haven't actually gone back and updated it yet, but we should probably put up the link.
The great news is the list doesn't have the days of the week, so the list doesn't really need updating.
That's true, yes. But I noticed that it still has our Twitter link to it, and we need to at least get rid of that. Yeah, we don't participate on in Quickster. So let's see. So I'm going to put up the website, and then I thought, so when Bex was still here, and yeah, we all miss Bex, and she is doing well. We did a whole bunch of TikToks about them, and we thought it might be kind of fun to like kind of go down the list and share some of those, like little funny videos that we made.
I haven't even watched all these in a long time, so
it's been a really long time too since I've seen
so
it.
hopefully they're we'll see what happens.
Yeah, definitely. So should we just start at the top, or?
Yeah. There's one that says pre L 13LN.
Oh right, yeah. We could start with that one.
That's the wand one.
Yeah.
Or
yeah. What's that?
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, the first thing to do is like maybe even before it is to like make your own spell stick, which is what we called it, but it's like a wand for all intents and purposes, but it's used more for like, it's not for like, it's more for like drawing symbols and stuff and casting lots and things like that. So
a spell poker.
A spell poker, that's right. Should I play it? Or...
Yeah.
Were you able to get those other ones, by the way? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, I have the 26th one.
Okay. So I should just probably I'll put this into this, and then we have to remove everybody else, right?
Hey, we'll just do it. It will just take us out.
So we're doing this 13 Liminal Nights starting on Monday, October 25th. An extension of Halloween. Every day there's a different activity. I kind of compare it to like Spirit Week in high school, where every day has like a theme and there's activities and rituals and everyone should play along. Kind of divinatory. Ask a question at the beginning of the 13 nights and then hopefully you'll get an answer by the end. The first thing you need to do is get a magic wand or make one. And so I'm going to do that with this big mullen. See if I can find a wand somewhere in this mass of decay. Make your own out of an old stick or a root or a wooden spoon. See this little like face right here? There's an eye here and like a little nose. I think I'm going to put Google eyes on that. Magic wand acquired. 13 Liminal Nights. Look for it every day. New weird rituals, things you can do on TikTok. It will be fun.
Cool. That was good.
I think I still have my wand, that magic poker or whatever we're calling it. I have that somewhere. I can't. Where did I put that? Oh, here it is.
Did you find it?
It's missing a Google eye. You gotta replace it.
Oh, that's cool.
There it is.
Gonna have to get the Google Eye Bandit.
I know. Maybe I'll read the school newspaper, see who it is. I think it's still a mystery.
That's right.
Or maybe your stick wants to be a pirate this year. Maybe you need to fashion an eye patch.
Oh, maybe that's telling me something.
I guess you could use the same one from year to year and just dress it up differently each time.
Yeah.
I feel like it could be fun if you're doing it like around Halloween time to have one that you use like ceremonially every year. But I could also see, like we were talking before about like an amulet, once it's run its course, like maybe you destroy it. Like if you have a problem that you're working out, like you were describing, maybe part of the process is like thanking the stick for, being with you through the 13 liminal steps and doing something ritually with it.
Yeah. So that's usually, you could do that anytime. You could probably do that now if you want. What's funny?
I don't want to talk about it in front of the stick right now.
Did you see CJ's CJ said, what does the googly eye wand have as a name? And then one-eyed Wanda.
Cute.
That's hilarious and perfect.
Cool.
So you could go out and do that anytime, but the first actual night or day, and that's another thing too, we call it nights, but you could do any of these during the day, is we call it All Explorers Day. We're the thing we actually really are mainly known for, of course, is the map of at liminal Earth, and so some of these are kind of like map-like. And this one's kind of cool, and I'm just going to read a little bit off the website. Celebrants take time to visit a liminal space and set their intentions for the ritual, for the whole ritual. Mythic journeys often include a trip to the underworld and a symbolic rebirth, and this is no different. So you plan a trip to a place that you wouldn't normally visit and allow it to become a sanctuary. It could be as simple as a closet or room in your house with the lights out, a shady forest grove, or it could be an actual cave. The decision is yours to make. I think it could also be like an inner space, you know. It's ruled by the cave symbol. It represents a thin place, a dark space, or sometimes just a cave. Begin your initiation by going to visit a cemetery or hanging out under a bridge or stuffing yourself into a closet or a basement crawl space and staying in the dark for a little while. And then this is another suggestion is if you're feeling extra inspired, find the closest spot on the Liminal Earth map. And then set your set your intention. And yeah, so that is All Explorers Day. Should we do the All Explorers TikToks?
Yeah, I guess there's 3 of them. I didn't remember doing that.
Oh.
Maybe there's repeats. Maybe there's a mistake here. I don't know.
We'll find out.
So I'm out here for All Explorers Day. I have my lamp, and I'm in a little nook in a beautiful, beautiful tree. I found my cave, and I'm gonna go ahead and set an intention. A question that I may have that I won't answer during the course of these 13 liminal nights.
I'm heading to a cave I found earlier today. On this day, October 25th, you're supposed to go find a liminal place. Go in the dark, go by yourself. So I kind of have a question for the universe that I'm going to be asking. How I could become a full-time weirdo. Past this sewer thing, there's a little cave area up here. But now it's time to go dark and just ask my question and set my intention. It's starting to kind of rain now. The rain just picked up. I was noticing how much I was hearing the sounds. Very peaceful. I really think you should do this. I did find some raccoon scat, which is horrifying. Not what I was wanting.
There, we got one more for All Explorers.
Morning. I'm out here with my tea. It's All Elders Day.
That's what it was. Okay, so we'll wait on that one.
Man, that raccoon poop, I remember that fondly.
Look at that. There we go. I just changed the title. So yeah, we only had the 2.
Yeah, that's a fun one. You know, one time we did it too. I think we just did it like on Twitter or something. Maybe maybe 2 years or a year prior. Yeah. And I remember just everyone went into their closet, and I remember thinking it was a really cool feeling, than knowing everyone was doing this at the same time, and like, you know, hanging out in their closet. I don't know. It was a cool vibe. So
definitely.
Yeah. I hope it would. In the year of the raccoon, I remember it being really cool, and like, I wondered if someone if they walked by would think of me sitting in there in the tree. But it was good. It was so quiet, and it was a cool vibe.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Last year on All Explorers Day, I went and accidentally found a cave, and did a liminal spirit oracle reading. I can't remember what all I got, in terms of like the reading, but it was really nice.
Yeah.
Were you able to get those videos? Like the All Musics one is next, and I don't see them here.
Oh, it's October 26th.
Where am I?
I think that.
I'm looking. Oh, I see it. Okay, there it is. Okay. Cool. So yeah. Somebody else want to? I just did the first one. Somebody want to take All Musics Day?
Well, on that day we make music instruments. Is one of the key ones. But it's also just like a creative day.
Oh, here, I've got it up. You want me to take over?
Yeah.
Once the darkness is embraced, the musician plays a tune. Can you stand to see its face? If so, then trace this rune. Do all of them have a little thing? I love it.
No, but we should get like ChatGPT or something names for each one.
Yeah.
All Music's Day is ruled by the musician symbol, which indicates a change that is within your power to make. Playing music creates subtle redirections of the flow of reality and is a power available to everyone. On the day of All Musics, it's traditional to make a special instrument of some kind. It can be as simple or as complicated as you like. A flute carved from a sunflower stalk, a shaker made with a tin filled with dry beans, 2 wands that sound pleasant when whacked together, a comb with wax paper kazoo, garbage bag bagpipe, that thing people do with grass to make a whistle. And if you're not a particularly musical person, that's fine too. The idea is finding a way to manifest something that's within you. If you're not able to or interested in making an instrument, you could learn a dance or write a poem or make a collage or a drawing or a painting or a TikTok video.
Yeah. So it's really fun. And when I did it on the TikTok one, it was one of my favorite things that I did.
Oh, let me look and see if I have that one. It should
okay.
have.
I could also just share my screen and play it.
You want to do that?
Yeah, let me see. Hang on. Gotta find it. Where'd it go? Oh gosh. All right.
I do have it if we need to upload it.
Let me try sharing screen. I haven't tried the actual screen share option on this, so let's see how well it works. That's fine. Oh gosh. I gotta mess with my computer permissions and all that garbage.
Oh, how fun.
Shenanigans.
Or do not quit and reopen.
No, thank you.
Cool. Okay, so here we go. And share. Did that work?
Looks like it.
Okay, here we go.
Happy All Musics Day. I made a quatrian instrument. This is called a strithis. It's actually made of sticks, and I have rubber bands, but originally it would have been, like catgut or whatever they made strings out of. I'm going to take the instrument that I've made, and I'm going to play it for my dog. Hey, Emmett, I'm going to play this instrument for you now. Are you ready? Here goes. He loved it. He really, really loved it. Happy All Musics Day. Happy.
That was Emmett.
I feel like you were channeling some Paul Rubens, Pee Wee Herman a little at the end there, and it was really good.
That was a fun one to do. Looks like we have another one too. Let's see.
I remember Garrett's.
Do you?
I was just thinking about it the other day, actually, because I saw a video on Instagram of someone playing one of those like big metal streets, like movable, like gates that they put up at like parades and stuff that are like 3 feet tall and maybe like 6 or 8 feet long. But somebody had drilled some holes in it, and this guy was playing it as a flute, and it sounded amazing.
That's
and I think I like maybe like tagged Liminal Earth about it, or at least thought about it.
Check about that. Is it like the kind? It almost looks like a like where you lock up a bike or something, but it's
a barricade.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't think of the words. My brain was just like, this amazing man played it as a flute. That's all that would happen.
That's so cool.
That is amazing. All right, well, let's check this out.
How to make garbage bag bagpipes.
That was awesome.
My family was very excited that I decided to abandon that hobby.
Wait, what about, wasn't there one that you were playing?
The sunflower stalk?
Yes.
I have that. That wasn't for the, well, maybe it was the year before. I don't have that one. That's like the first TikTok we have, I think.
That's right. It was really early. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of our older stuff is really weird.
Yeah, I had made a sax. Yeah, I had made a saxophone out of a sunflower stalk. Yeah.
Yes, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
Yeah.
They'll just have to. People have to go to our TikTok and watch them all. There's some good ones.
Yeah.
Cool. So that is All Music Day, and let's see. Oh, it's only 9:17. We're doing good. The next one, the 27th. You want to talk about it, Garrett? You haven't really talked about one yet.
Oh, well, I'm terrible at this. I can't. I guess.
You want me to?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, you should. You're so good at this.
This is. We're all fine. This is. So the 27th is All Ferments Day. And as winter is on the horizon, tonight we honor the power of fermentation and the techniques that will allow us to have sustenance through the coming cold. Taking raw food and allowing it to fester and transform is a magic and delicious process that everyone should partake in. So many options: pickles, sauerkraut, kefir water, gruit, sourdough pancakes, sourdough bread. The possibilities are endless. This day is ruled by the animalcule symbol. It's an old-fashioned term for microorganism. And those are the lovely little friends that represent the raw, unfettered magic all around us. They also speak to our potential for transformation and inner alchemy, which actually reminds me of I was thinking the other day about Dionysus and how he's always kind of considered the god of wine. And I thought, like, what if it's not just wine? What if it's all fermented products that like have that Dionysian energy in them?
Right.
Anyhow, that's just an aside. So the act of fermentation is actually the art of designing a home for beneficial microbes and then inviting them in. You're constructing a comfortable habitat for millions of tiny living spirits and manipulating their ecosystem so that the beneficial entities survive and the harmful creatures banish themselves. How liminal is that? In a way, fermentation is identical to the act of creating any kind of shrine into which spirits are invited. It kind of goes on that way. I don't want to run out of time, but you can check it out on the website. But how does one celebrate All Ferments Day? It's a lot easier than you may think. Make basic sauerkraut, conjure up some poor man's cheese, add some kimchi or lacto-fermented pickles to your breakfast. Like, you don't have to make it. You could also you're just taking advantage of, the fermentation. Make mugwort spiced dream pickles, which Garrett did, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Have a beer with breakfast. Why not? or experiment with something new. Let us know what you're going to ferment, and be sure to, be sure to let us know what you're going to ferment. So
I also was thinking, there's no reason why you couldn't do the experiment we did where we collected some greenery from outside and put it in a bottle of WUFO water to see if any aerial entities decided to pop in there. That was such a fun little thing. I was so sad when I was sure it didn't work, and then all of a sudden I had a sticky mess to clean up because it just took a few weeks to get going.
That whole thing is on the WUFO.watch website, like the process for doing it.
Yeah, we can maybe we'll link to that too. But yeah, that would be perfect because it involves fermentation. So
yeah, it's not even something you have to like ingest or eat or anything. It's just like a process of playing with fermentation.
Yeah, like making a shrine for aerial entities.
Right.
CJ says, I'm not drinking beer. I'm inviting my magical microbe friends into my
Exactly. So, okay, shall we show? There's 2 all ferments.
I think they're the same, actually. I think they're just dupes.
All right, here we go.
For all ferments day, I'm going to harvest some wild yeast. We're going to make a wild yeast starter. Wild yeast lives everywhere around us. Because of that, we can harvest it and feed it, inviting the spirits in and asking for their guidance. These berries that are past their prime, these are an Oregon grape. Wild yeast grows on everything. Some lovely dried salal berries. I bet they're teeming with wild yeast. This lovely head of dried up Queen Anne's lace flowers. I have some beautiful looking aronia berries here. Pine cones. We have this tiny little amount of wild ingredients. Seriously. All we're gonna do is use a glass jar that's been sterilized and one of these little lids. These are smallmouth ones. Not even really measuring anything here. First things first, we're gonna drop in our dry ingredients. And all that we have left are these berries. Now these berries, I kind of want to release the sugar that's in them. Now I'm just going to add a tablespoon of sweetener. Water is treated with chlorine. If you get like a Brita pitcher or some other kind of filter, it'll just take it right out. And I've had great success with that. So, lid and the ring. I'm going to put it on there really tight. And now I'm going to shake the shit out of it. I'm just going to keep shaking this until I can't see any more sugar grains. Loosen the lid, and you don't want it to blow up. I'm going to cover it up, and I'm going to set it right near my stove so it stays nice and warm. Every day for the next 2 or 3 days, I'm going to come back, shake it up, twist the lid a little bit to let stuff out, and pretty soon we'll be starting to see bubbles. Learning how to ferment things and grow wild yeast in your kitchen is one of the best ways to learn about liminal ecology. The gut biome, which is, down sort of right around here. And that actually can have an impact on your mental health. It's like a second brain. It's like having a ton of little spirit guides inside you working for you. You feel that little pop? Look how fizzy that is. Oh yeah, you can definitely sort of taste that fermented tang there with the sugar. You can add it a spoonful to a sourdough starter. You can add a spoonful to sauerkraut. Anything that you're going to ferment or use lactofermentation for, this will help kick it off. It helps add those wonderful little spirits to your gut biome. And congratulations on creating your own liminal ecosystem in the comfort of your own home. Happy All Ferments Day.
That was long.
That was good. Your eyeballs started flickering.
I know, it was weird. I don't know why I decided to use that filter. Probably just because it was funny.
The creepy part about it is that the first few times that I started watching the video, I didn't notice that the filter was there, which made it extra unsettling when it clicked in. Like, if y'all got possessed by some, would I notice? This is what I worry about.
We all just need to look each other in the eyes more often. Maybe I was trying to be one of those black-eyed kids.
Yeah.
You know about the black-eyed kids?
Or
You know-
you've got the weird X-Files goo in you.
Oh, right. Yes. That's more likely for me. Because I'd be like, I don't know. Let's see what it tastes like. I don't know. Cool. So that was All Ferments Day. Maybe we should move them along a little bit more because we have a lot. Yeah. All Sorrows Day is the 28th. Kai, you up for taking one?
Yeah, we could just do the videos too.
Yeah, why don't we just show it, and then
Okay.
and then we could just talk about them after.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do that. I like the way you think. All right, All Sorrows. Here we go.
Today is All Sorrows Day. When you build a little house, you fill your sorrows with it, your anxiety, your fear, you write it all down, and then you destroy it. Here are my sorrows. And that is the symbol of wormwood. I'm gonna open a door, put them in, and we're gonna destroy it. So I'm gonna burn mine. I'm just gonna destroy it all.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah,
what's
me
that
too.
weird mystery growling?
Seriously.
Yeah, so the gist is like building this little house and like putting your sorrows in it and then destroying it somehow.
Mm-hmm.
You smash it with a sledgehammer, or, burn it.
I
Yeah.
really expected Bex to go kind of like giant monster, like whoa.
Yeah, crushing it.
Gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I should have known fire though.
Yeah. It's almost it strikes me at all. It's almost like a negative shrine.
Yeah.
Maybe like yeah, sure, some things could just be negative, but also like I immediately wanted to be like there's something really nice actually about the idea of like putting hard things to bed nicely. Like I kind of like the idea of like tucking them in and maybe like maybe that's just the like the pack rat in me. I'm like, let me just build you a little matchbox home and I'll make you a nice little bed and I'll tuck you in and then I'll put you somewhere away.
That's perfectly valid too.
Yeah.
What would be like a version of this then that would fit that? Like something to think about. I don't know.
Yeah. It might be something that we kind of tweak.
Maybe it's like a message in a bottle sort of a situation. Like you're still kind of casting it away from you, but like wishing it pleasant journeys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's supposed to be though that you're like this isn't meant to be like ego death or something like that. It's not that intense. Like you're building a cardboard house. I mean so I mean I think the spirit is more like a ritual cleansing, you know. But I don't know. Maybe it is ego death for you.
Listen, I'm a Scorpio. Scorpio season is almost here. I'm just building my little den. It gets intense for me this time of year.
Yeah, maybe I'll put this up. Maybe you could make it out of a milk carton and recycle it.
Yeah.
I like that.
Or compost it.
Right.
But I think there's something for like if you want to be like catharsis, like there's something to it. I think it's okay, you know.
Totally.
If you want to do that, I think that's fine.
I was just reading about how like jack-o'-lanterns and also that thing where you like carve a face into like an apple or a turnip and then you roast it to make it look like a shriveled old little face is like like both have Samhain origins.
Oh.
Like
Hmm.
what if you like carved something into like an apple or something and then shriveled it up?
Yeah.
We gave it to the squirrels to eat it.
Or raccoons, as the case may be. Maybe
Right.
that's what that growl was. It was actually a raccoon.
Oh,
Which would be just
It
as
was-
weird as a
I
cryptid.
could have ate that.
Outdoor critters' stomachs growling.
Cool. So the next one is All Mysteries, which is the stone book. I don't see those up
Yeah,
there
I
yet.
didn't have that because I figured we do that so much here. And the video was just kind of how that works. But in case someone doesn't know, basically, there's a whole thing on that page on 13LN where, you basically pull 6 books off the shelf, you roll dice, and it helps pick words in the books and build a sentence. And there's part of the ritual on All Mysteries Day where you actually open your front and back door of your house while you do the ritual and you leave them open. So there's some other guidelines on that page.
Yeah. The videos are cool. I mean, if you check our TikTok out, but we do that a lot as bibliomancy. So after that we've got, let's see, All Mysteries comes All Protections Day. Vernow Day. Is one of these first?
I don't think so. We'll see. I don't think so though.
Because I see like I'm just hang on one second.
I think one of them isn't All Protections.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, the first one is, I think.
Because there's one where we talk about all protections, and then one where we talk about the Vernow. So I see one with a slide. Is the slide one?
That's probably do that one first.
Today is All Protections Day. Beware, the Vernow is coming tonight, so we're gonna take a couple steps in protection here. I'm gonna use some deer bones, and I'm going to just kind of stake them around the 4 corners of my house and the entryways. Yeah, let's stake some bones. The Vernow is a deer skeleton, and so I feel like this will really drive him away.
Put one in this dead plant here. Sorry, what it looks.
But we're also gonna do the basic means, which is to hang a coat outside our door at night, some St. John's wort or a horseshoe or something over my door as well.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to find the next one as well. Where'd y'all go?
Right here.
I felt like something was wrong. I felt all alone.
I thought you were gonna roll right into the second one.
I think you're just scared of the Vernow. I think that's.
I think that must be it. Yeah. Okay. All right. Here we go. Here's the second one.
So what's the Vernow? That's a great question. The Vernow is a creature from Quatrian folklore. It's hard to describe. It's like been cursed by Anthor, who is, the deer spirit. And it's supposedly, if you see a deer skeleton, if you stumble across a deer skeleton in the woods, then if you don't treat it with the proper respect, then it'll follow you home. And really the only way to get rid of it or to keep it from coming into your house, first of all, it hates St. John's wort. Second of all, you would take an old coat of some kind, and because of its skeleton, it's always cold, like even in the middle of the summer. So it goes around from house to house, and you would hang your coat on the door. And if you do that, sometimes you take the coat off and you'll find little gifts from the Vernow inside the pockets. So yeah, that's the Vernal, and you don't want to mess with it. And nobody's really quite sure what happens if you do let it in, but it's definitely nothing good.
There we
That's
go.
so good. Didn't Nicholas find something? Something in the pockets?
Yeah, no, he found something in the pockets of the coat, and I can't remember what it was though.
Yeah,
it's been a long time ago. But there was also that the story from Maidlin.
Yeah, well, I remember.
It was on the map where they put an old coat on an altar with some deer bones or something like that.
And then they found like some piece of paper that had a bunch of words on it that were like mushroom names or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it was like it kind of mirrored the Vernal ritual, and they didn't even plan on that.
Oh, here it is. That's right. This is a weird one too. I should read this actually because it's so interesting. I'm not going to read out everything, but so Maidlin rented a room with several other people on the second floor. One day at work, one of their supervisors gave them a deer skull with antlers. She had rescued it from a dumpster across the country some time ago and randomly felt compelled to give it to them. It says, I was very happy to take it and promptly put it on my altar. I don't remember exactly when, but maybe about a few days to a week later, something weird happened. I woke up in the middle of the night to find the deer skull floating 2 to 3 feet off the altar. I stared at it like, what? And then a few seconds later, it carefully lowered back down onto the altar. It made no sound and did not move anything else on the altar.
I forgot that part.
Yeah. There were two parts to this. That's just the first one, and the coat thing came up in a different situation. So they felt called to help the deer and help the deer spirit, and so they basically brought the skull to a place where they could put it to rest. Let me see if I can find the coat thing too. And this all happened like way before they knew anything about.
Yeah,
we had been talking about. Let's see, is this it?
I don't know if I'm jealous or glad that none of the things I bring home from the woods are like levitating.
Well, they took it to a psychic, and the psychic said it had a bullet hole in it and had been shot and then had traveled across the country and was confused because it didn't know where it was. And then Maidlin decided that, it had traveled to find them specifically to help them put it to rest. So
wow,
it's a pretty cool story. I can't find the code. So. But yeah, that one's fun. And it's cool. It's almost like I hesitate to say, but like a old world, like the costume museum that you went to, Garrett, in Portugal.
Oh yeah. The Corrado, the demons.
Yeah. Like, hang your coat on the door and
right. And they're stealing chorizos and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the 30th. The 31st is All Sprites Day, and I think I can only show this, and then we'll have to move on to the next day.
You can't talk about it.
Yeah. All right, here we go. So All Elders Day is November 1st. And that one's kind of a cool one. And it's also the last ones we have videos for, so here we go.
For All Elders Day, I want to talk about one of my elders, and that elder is this. It's known as mullein. Mullein is an amazing plant. It is this huge, enormous plant with this giant spike. The ancient Greeks said that mullein was one of the plants given to Odysseus to escape from the wiles of Circe. It's also known as witch's taper because light at the end and it creates this long-lasting smoky flame. I do a thing where I take the mullein seeds and I put them into little clay balls, and I actually use a slingshot to shoot it around. I want to be Jeremy Mullen seed. The scientific name, which is Verbascum thapsus, actually comes from a site in Sicily called Thapsos. People who lived there grew prodigious amounts of mullein. The town that my family is from is right near the town of Thapsos, where the mullein comes from. Happy Elders Day, and thank you, mullein, for being a wise elder.
I love the music. Mort Gerson, I think is his name.
Uh-huh.
He does a whole thing about like a whole album devoted to plant music, and that's from that. All right, one more.
Morning. I'm out here with my tea. It's all Elders Day, so I'm gonna pay some respects to my tree with the face. I consider them a elder at this point. Just look how gorgeous they are. There's the face. Hello. We're over the hump here. We're halfway done. Pay some respects to your elders, whether they be human, trees, or blueberries.
Do you recall when the world was still young, just us small?
Bex. That's funny. We have to make the videos for the other day. We never did that.
Yeah, I guess that's going to be our goal for this year.
Yep.
So we can talk a little bit more about the rest of them, though, for sure. Let's see. That was all elders. So next is All Animals Day.
I live from a long way away.
What's that?
There's someone popping into the comments. Sorry, I got distracted.
Oh,
wow. That is.
Wow. Are there any UFOs out there? Or aerial entities? Sorry. That's cool. That's cool though.
Yeah, that's awesome. I was trying to think about something I was going to say, and I can't remember what it was. So let's just move on to All Animals Day. Oh, no, that's okay. We're happy to have new friends from New Zealand. Tonight, All Animals Night. Celebrate the living animals around us, be they wild or domestic or cryptid. Oh, yeah, we do this by taking a liminal walk in our neighborhood and leaving an offering for an animal who lives near us. So you can feed crackers to a crow, feed some goldfish, pet a dog, leave a slice of ham on an anthill. Whatever animal you choose to honor has a message for you. And when you've made your offering, trace the animal symbol in the air with your spell stick and ask the animal to send you a message in your dreams. The other thing you do during this day is what? Wait, what? I missed it.
I'm just dying over the anthill ham. It's just.
That is kind of funny.
I don't know if I had never read that one or it has just slipped my mind, but
I think this is the year we do it. We got to put that in the video.
Yes, this will be the TikTok video for All Animals Day. Will be. I'm on an anthill. You'd have to keep filming until the ants started noticing.
Right.
The ham. So.
What if you made a tiny ham, like the tiny food videos?
Yeah, that would be awesome. Like a little bone-in, spiral cut. I think it could be done.
it would cause some ant mayhem.
Exactly. That's awesome. Okay, so there is a part 2 to Animal though, which I think is like when we took it to the zine became even more of a what you do, which is when you get this symbol in the deck, the meaning of the symbol is something obvious, like something right out there in front of you. And so it's common to celebrate this day by doing something you've been meaning to do but haven't yet. So it could be like clean the closet, or get your oil changed, or return your library books, or polish your gargoyles. Whichever you give hams to some ants. And it's something obvious, like just something, but something simple, like a household chore.
Deal with that fermentation project that wasn't meant to be a fermentation project that's growing in your refrigerator.
Right.
Yeah. Or it could just be like do the dishes, or it's just a chance to get something small and simple to cross it off your list.
I like too that it says that this day is also when you're thinking about your question that you're kind of answer. It's like the day you like really focus on like, what's the obvious answer to my question, and like sit with it. Like you've been through doing all these weird activities and stuff, but now like just like what is there a really obvious answer that you're avoiding? So yeah, I think that's an interesting point.
Yeah, that's a really good one. So the following day is All Plants, and All Plants Day. You go out and you find a plant, like go out on a walk, like find a local wild plant and learn about it, like learn everything else, like everything that you can. Just go outside and find one that speaks to you, try to identify it, and then just like learn the folklore, figure out how you could use it. Just spend some time doing that. Also, it would be a good day to start planning your garden for next year.
Don't forget to make notes about where you've put things this year too. If you are anything like me and had very good intentions and drew out a thing and then didn't use it at all.
I hate it when that happens. At this point, I think it is like I think you showed me, Garrett, you sent me a video by somebody who does like chaos gardening.
Oh. I probably sent you a lot.
It was the Sunchoke. The guy, he did Sunchokes, like that really kind of cool thing.
Yeah.
With Sunchokes. He does something called chaos gardening, which I think is cool, which is just like letting it happen, but like intentionally be letting it happen. It's kind of hard to describe. It's like chaos magic, but like a gardening style. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, he was making wicks out of the center of Sunchokes.
Yeah, from the pith, the pith on the stalk.
Cool.
Yeah,
which is cool. I have all these Sunchokes because when you plant a Sunchoke, eventually you'll have all these Sunchokes. And I've been trying to. There's this whole thing with, this idea like, oh, this plant's gonna take over. Like, and I'm thinking, well, if you have a plant that you love and it takes over, why not try and figure out how to use it as much as you can instead of just trying to get rid of it? And so I'm doing that with Sunchokes, and like they're such cool plants. They have so many different uses, but this is one I'd never heard of, so it's pretty awesome. Yeah. After All Plants Day, we have November 4th, All Offerings Day. And that is ruled by the fungi symbol. And the idea is that when you look at mushrooms, you usually only see the most visible part, the fruit. But underneath it, the mycelium and mycelia can go forever. So we only tend to think of the gifts that it shares with us, but like it's spread out everywhere underneath it. And so what we want to do on this day is to give gifts selflessly like mushrooms do, kind of. So it's like, it says, it's an acknowledgement that we've survived the burning house of sorrows and have been liberated into the house of plenty. Spend this time recognizing the surplus that surrounds us and use that to pay it forward to others. So you give back. So clearly, one of the things that you could do would be to give back by donating to people in your community, or volunteering, putting together bags, like supply bags to hand out to people. Make it just a small donation to a local organization doing good work in your community. Or it could even just be like saying something nice to somebody who doesn't often hear nice things, or a kind word. But then only after you've done that, you need to make an offering to yourself. So you could like treat yourself to a gift, like probably something in your budget, but anything you want that is in your budget, even if you don't have a budget, it could be like a walk around the block, or just do something nice to yourself. A new book, dinner out, a long soak in the tub, an Aztec death whistle.
That's what Jeremy got himself.
That's what I got myself. Yes.
I was thinking about like the part of doing something for someone else. If you aren't necessarily able to volunteer, and you are in a place where you can donate money, like a great thing that you might do is like write a positive review for your hairdresser, or write a 5-star review for a podcast you really like those kinds of things, especially for small businesses, really go a long way and can make a big difference. I don't know.
Those are great. We should update
awesome.
with that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's a great idea. Just like boosting your friends, like giving a shout out to all your fellow creative weirdos. Oh, okay. So the next one is All Messages Day. And this is where you do your final divination. So this is ruled by the maiden, which in Quatrian tradition was a word that meant you have an abundance of life force. So for this reason, the maiden was seen as a powerful instructor when it came to secret and liminal matters, is living information, both the messenger and the message. So this is when we ask the maiden questions and seek her advice for the coming year, or a clarifying question on whatever problem you're trying to work through during the course of the 13 liminal nights. It could be through dreams, through divinatory tools, or it could be more mundane methods like a letter from a friend. You could also reach out to a friend and send a letter or make a call, because it's All Messages Day. It's also a great day to consult an astrologer, or do an in-depth tarot reading, or to do the Oracle of the Hypogeum long form, or anything like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think it might be we could do something with how we did the cards to the caves, or carves to a place, writing postcards to a place in a national forest that you like, or something. So yeah, maybe update it.
And then the final day is All Silence Day, and this is where you do. It's basically the guided meditation that we've done here before. The entering the Hypogeum, which we still have the audio for, I think, on Bandcamp, right?
Oh yeah.
And that site is wretched, right? Like they're having issues.
It's also with a very interesting trippy video in one of the WUFO live streams.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I think it's on here still. We could play it.
You want to play it? You mean right now?
Well, we have it. I mean, we could. I think it's right.
That would be kind of fun.
There's right here. There's
it could be our outro to this episode.
Yeah,
so
meditation.
Know where to find it.
Meditation 1.
Yeah, All right.
I think that's it. I think that's. Wait, maybe that's a different one. I don't know.
Let's find out. Here, where is it? Meditation 1. Let's find out.
This might. Yeah, let's see.
So begin by finding a comfortable space for yourself.
That's it.
Yeah, that's totally it.
It's long though. It's 10 minutes long.
Well, it's a good outro. I mean, we could we just outro that.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Okay. So we'll outro that. So, but that was it. That was.
Yeah.
I forgot that you had the like witness protection voice.
I know, that was really funny.
I don't remember doing that either.
That's really funny.
So, yeah, that's the 13th. Well,
I had to pull it out at some point.
yeah. You look like a totally different person with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
What if I just did this? Would this help? I can't.
Your second years aren't built for those.
That's so great.
But I mean, I guess I think I feel like the overarching idea behind this whole 13 Liminal Nights thing is just to have fun doing something weird, have a reason for doing something fun,
right?
That will also potentially help solve problems or develop you as a person or whatever. So
yeah, and next week, normally Weird Words is on the last Thursday of the month, and I just made a graphic and posted it, and then I was realizing it might actually be really fun to do it next Wednesday since we're on an every other week WUFO cadence. So keep an eye out, woo folks who are Weird Words writer groups or people who are interested in joining. I'll make sure that all of that information is super accessible, but I think we might switch it to Wednesday so we can do a little writing to prepare ourselves. I think we still might try to write a song for All Musicians Day too, because that was part of my original thought. But keep your eyeballs posted on Instagram and on Mastodon for updates on that stuff if you want to write with us.
Yeah. And then the following week is one of the 13 Liminal Nights. It's actually all elders. And we'll be having WUFO, so we should think of something we can do about that.
Dash wanted to do that thing where we talk to dinosaurs. Maybe we could.
Yes,
we could talk.
Perfect.
And everybody who isn't morally opposed can get flaming hot flavored whatever snacks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's work on that.
We'll eat dead dinosaurs and try to contact them. I'm in love with this idea.
That sounds fantastic. I'm going to put the link up again in case anybody needs it to the 13 Liminal Nights website on liminal.earth. So, but we'll be posting. We'll have stuff up. We're going to do.
Sorry, before we, I see Deadmouth, who might be a newer person, was like, "What is Weird Words Writing Group?" Which I realized I didn't explain. It is a group where I provide some writing prompts, usually 2 to 3 of them, and we just spend an hour and a half writing together. It's super casual. If you want to share what you wrote, you can. It's very low key. If you don't feel like writing, I try to make the prompts also geared so you could draw to them or paint to them or sculpt something out of Play-Doh if you wanted to. So yeah, everybody is welcome, and I'll make sure that all of the info is available on the socials, easy for you.
Awesome. Well, that being said, yeah, we should. CJ had a great question. We should all hashtag 13 Liminal Nights or 13LN if we do anything for it.
Yeah,
that would be fun. And we're always in the Discord, so come and join if you will.
Cause Discord and then get Discord.
That's exactly right. Yes. So we're going to end on with this last it's guided meditation. It's for All Silence Day, which is the last of the 13 Liminal Nights, and that is November 6th. So it's kind of cool. We get to have an extra long Halloween, and we hope you'll join us. You ready to roll this guy?
Yeah, let's do it.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Happy look.
So begin by finding a comfortable space for yourself. You're feeling relaxed. Your breath goes in and out. With each breath, you become more aware of your connection to the earth below you. You can feel it growing stronger with each breath. And you begin to perceive that you are in a space which is not similar to the one you were just in. You are standing on a beach. You can hear the sound of the waves crashing against the shore and of seabirds flying through the sky. You stand, you feel the sand beneath your bare feet, you smell the salt in the air, and then you hear a noise behind you. Turning, you see a friend. That friend may be a person, it may be a plant, it may be a spirit, an ancestor, an animal, but this is your friend. And they turn around and beckon you to follow them. You follow them on a path through the jungle, pushing aside enormous leaves with your hands. Finally, you and your friend arrive at a building. You stand before the building. It could be your house. It could be a beautiful palace. It could be a vehicle. It could be a fairy house. It could be any kind of building that makes sense to you right now. That building has a door. That door is your door. Your friend beckons to the door, opens the door, and hands you a torch. You step inside the building. As your eyes adjust to the light, you look down. You see before you a carven stone table. Carved into that table are two bowls. Within one of the bowls is a kind of plant. The plant has meaning to you, but you can't quite identify what it is. You feel the flames from the torch on your cheek and see the shadows they cast on the walls which are carved out of solid rock. Taking the torch your friend gave you, you light the herbs in the bowl on fire, and they emit a familiar scent. A scent that is important to you, that you love, or a scent from your past. As soon as the smoke begins to dissipate from the fire, you hear chimes tinkling. Turning towards the source of the chimes, you come across the entrance to the hypogeum. This is a cave, or a tunnel, or a burrow, or a hollow log. Moving towards the tunnel, you find the way blocked with cobwebs that you can feel brush against you as you move forward. You push the cobwebs away and look down, and you see stairs descending into the passage. Taking the stairs to the bottom, you now experience what you are meant to experience here. We'll take a moment You begin once again to hear the chimes behind you up the passage. Your experience begins to fade. You begin to slowly step backwards towards the steps. Turning around, you consider the meaning of what your experience was to you, and remember what happened. You take a deep breath and still smell the scent of the burning herbs in the chamber. Walking out, you see your friend. Your friend leads you back through the jungle, down to the beach. You stand on the beach, feel the sand beneath your feet, feel your connection to the earth, which exists in this world as well as ours. And slowly begin emerging back into the present moment in this room. Breathing in and out. And in and out. And now you can slowly open your eyes, come back into yourself. Take a moment to take some deep breaths. Try to recollect and sit with what you may or may not have experienced.